Sweet. All right, here we go. Nice and sunny again today. We're making 300 watts on the panels right now, which is cool. So we're streaming on solar currently. And we've got the next part of this project to do. So we are so close. We have the Makarov fully working, except that it shoots a little quickly right now than it should, but it's also kind of nice like that. So I'm gonna try it one more time. Go ahead and chamber around there. Popped up. And it is possible to run the course like this, but it's tough because you got to make sure you don't waste bullets. You got to try to not shoot full auto. Okay, we just did a couple bursts there. We didn't mean to. That's alright though. If we're not going for the acorns and we just go for the targets, we can probably still get through the course with the ammo that we've got without grabbing refills. I'm not sure which one I already hit. Not sure where my bullets are going there. Okay, we only have 8 rounds left, so see if we can get out through the map. Uh oh. Okay. Okay. I think I might have 1 bullet left. I have 2. I have 2 shots left to hit the final target with. Hey. Nice. Yeah. That's doable. And then, of course, we can always just blaze through a magazine, because why not? But what we're going to be doing next is making it not shoot this quickly. So yeah, those the ejection looks really good. How do we do that? Well, I think it's going to be in the trigger script is how I'm going to do it, because that's how it would really work, is the trigger is only going to drop the hammer once, and then you have to release the trigger and then pull it again to drop the hammer again. And the sear kind of holds it from doing that. So if we go here and we go into the file for the gun, and then we look at the trigger script, so we do have a trigger reset variable. Where are we using that? I think it's used by the hammer. Okay, we've already got a sear flag, right? Now, I want to make sure I use the right word for the variable name here, although it doesn't really matter. But, like, if we open this guy up, now, this is a little goofy because this gun has a magazine disconnect, so I have to put the empty magazine in there in order to dry fire it, which is fine. So we'll just, there we go. Get all the spicy pills out of there. All right, those are put off to the side. So this is empty. This is empty. Clear, 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 very clear. All right, so if we pull the trigger, and it will let us pull the trigger now because there's a magazine in there, and it's got a magazine disconnect, right? So if we pull the trigger, right? So, oop, it's going to drop the hammer, right? Now we can recock the hammer. Well, this isn't doing a good job of displaying my example. There we go. You can run the slide again, but I'm pulling the trigger still, and the hammer is not dropping, right? Even though I'm still pulling the trigger. But if I release the trigger, right? And then we pull it again, right? It lets it fall. That wasn't a very good demonstration, but there is inside of here. Ah, there we go. Takedown pin. Pull that out. Get that off. There we go. Inside here. Just have to remember how this works as well. There it is. Okay. So that's the hammer right here, right? You can latch it back, and there's a little piece of metal right here that stops it from dropping. So that's the sear, I think. So if I push down on that, that drops the hammer, right? Um, and so when you pull the trigger, that's what it's doing. And now when you pull the trigger, it's lifting up this little bit up here in the front. And then that touches this little lever in the slide. You can see there's a little levery bit right there. I keep forgetting to bring like a little pointer, like a pen or something. Ah, well. Maybe I have my pocket knife with me? I do. Ooh, that would work. That would work. Ta-da! Alright. So, right there. See, there's a little lever. I can actually push it with this. If I can see it. There we go. See, that little piece is moving. So the trigger pushes this end over here, and this end lifts up the sear, and that fires the gun. What was my point? Right, and there's also a magazine disconnect, so without this pushed in, it doesn't actually. What does that magazine disconnector do? Ah, it moves it. Ah, that's kind of interesting. So this actually fires the gun, that little pin right there. It's probably super boring, and it doesn't have any really bearing on what we're doing in the code, so I should just get back to coding it. But this little pin right here that you can see when we pull the trigger, it lifts up. See how it's this way? If I take the magazine out, it's going to move forward. It's going to move over here. Watch. So here, I take the magazine out. There we go. Now it's going to be in a different spot. See that? It's way over here. Way over here instead of being back there. And I can move it if I push on it. But that's what the magazine is doing. When I put in the magazine, and you can probably even watch it move as I slide it up there. Oh, no, I can't because I need to release it. And then you'll see it pops up in the other spot. Anyway, none of that really matters. Other than that clockwork kind of works together so that it only shoots once per trigger pull, right? You shoot it once. Maybe it'd be better if we look at it would absolutely be better if we look at a real example. I can't type. This is the same gun that I was just holding.
After saving with custom.
I always get the same ad. What does that say about me? Yeah, that one I don't usually get. Okay, here we go. So this is what I was pointing to, is see this little lifting bar? Lifts this piece in the... Oh. That's how it works. That's how it works. So because the trigger isn't reset, so pay really close attention to this little piece right here. This little piece. So it's ready to shoot right now. It shoots, right? And it shoots because that little bar lifted up on that little tab in the uh, slide, right? So there's a little bar in the slide that's going to shoot it. The trigger lifts it up, and that trips the sear, and then the whole thing moves back, and this keeps moving up because you're pulling the trigger. When it comes forward again, it's just going to push this to the side, and moving the trigger or pulling the trigger does nothing until you let go of the trigger, and then it's ready to push that sear again. So watch, it comes forward. Well, he's doing something else. Okay. This will give us a better view of it. This stuff right in here. Right. So this piece right here is specifically what I'm talking about. This little bar, right? So as you pull the trigger, oh, that's going to make it harder to see, isn't it? Here we go. Yeah, this little bar right here, where these two pieces touch, this one's connected to the trigger, right? It shoots. There you go. Now this piece, because the trigger's still pulled, this piece is up. And now this piece is going to come forward. And he kind of glossed over it, but right there, it's like I gotta pause it right on that frame. Right here. At this point, the trigger's still pulled because, uh, and in my gun, I've programmed it wrong, so it's shooting in full auto, right? But this little piece right here is going to be pushed forward by that piece on the slide, and so it can't do anything to trip the hammer until I let it go. It resets, and then I can pull it again. Let's put this back together. Cool stuff. I'm learning things. All right. So, what should the names for those things be? I'm pretty sure this bit back here is called the sear, because it's actually what's holding the hammer back, but I'm not sure what these other bits are called. Well, this might help. This is the kind of thing I'm curious about. One of these might. Oh, it's very small. Aw. Aw, that's unfortunate. That's not in English. I think that's a gratch, but I mean, we could probably get the same idea. This should be an easy question. We can figure this out. What's that part called? What's that part called? Here we go. Uh, so this is the hammer. The sear, that's the sight. This might be what I'm looking for. Number 37 right here. It's going to be called like the sear transfer or something. Sear lever. Yep. Okay. Sear lever is what they call that. So we're right about that. And then this right here, number 34, I think that's the actual sear. Number 34. Am I right? Yeah, that's the sear. Hey, okay, we're not tripping. We're not tripping. Okay, and then what's that trigger bar called? Is it going to be like number 42 in this picture? Yeah, I think it is. Let's look. What's number 42 called? Trigger lever. Whatever. All right, cool. Basically, yeah. None of that was important other than helping me name my variable, so for what that was worth. Okay. All right. Um, what do we want to call this? Because right now, this is the trigger reset. Okay, we have a trigger break. So how are we using this sear is set variable in the trigger right now? So let's look for everywhere we get it. Where do we set that to be true? Right here. So on the process, okay, that's what we're using it for. So the trigger is appropriately actually doing that, where you can't hold down the trigger and shoot repeatedly, right? We're going to use this trigger break signal. So why is the hammer following it and not being snapped backwards? I wonder if we can kind of simulate this a little bit. Right, there's something else, there's some other logic error going on here. Okay, so what if we hold? Okay. Let's think about this. What needs to happen for this to not fire repeatedly, right? That actually worked. Kind of. Interesting. It's actually not letting me pull the trigger like this anymore. And we're hearing a sound repeatedly. Yeah, this might be an interesting problem. This might be an interesting problem. Why is it behaving the way it's behaving? All right, let's see if we can figure this out. Because right now, if we do it like this, no magazine, we just keep it simple. Oh, well, it's not actually dropping the hammer right now when we pull the trigger. Now, how come that is? Let's refresh. Let's start it again. Because I suspect before we shoot anything, it's going to work as expected. So let's cock the hammer and let's shoot. Let's cock the hammer. Let's shoot. It's working as expected here. I wonder if we're setting a effective minimum on the hammer's motion and then not resetting that properly when the slide goes back to closed, when the slide is back in battery. Right, because now let's try moving the slide back. Yeah, that's fine. That's also fine. Interesting. Yeah, I wonder if that's what it is. Because now here's the kicker. If we put one round in here, and we shoot it, and then we remove the magazine, it no longer shoots. See that? No longer lets us pull the trigger. How come? How come? That should drop the hammer. That's actually a different problem, but it may be related. So let's see. Yeah, and if we look at the debug window here, so let's change, let's add some debug statements here. Print the trigger reset. Let's print what the hammer effective minimum is. So if we go to the hammer here, okay. Right? Okay. Those are the two parameters that I want to kind of inspect for a second. And let's turn on our debug window. There we go. So, if we like this. And then we pull the trigger. And then release it. We get that trigger reset message, right? And we overflow it. We overflow it there. So let's go ahead and clear that. That's okay. So we can still get a trigger reset there. Why does that overflow that quite so quickly? Can I increase my maximum? Right, because that's not that many lines of text. That's only like a few, actually. It's like 20. We overflowed it with like 20 lines of output. Hang on. Uh, output overflow. Yeah. Let's see. Let's see. Oh, if we go to the console, it's gonna be fine. Um, where's the console gonna be? Okay. Let's see. It's like 20 lines, yeah. Was it under network limits? I think I got into the wrong. Got into the wrong menu. I wanted the project settings, I think. Here we go. output overflow, print less text. Plugger standard out. So what if we just max messages per frame? We turn this up from 10 to like 100. And see what that does. See if that still overflowed us. OBS is what I'm looking for, really, because I want to turn that back. There we go. Looks like we still have output overflow as a message, but let's... it still prints. It only prints a little bit, and then it gives me the output overflow message. Okay. Maybe I had to start and restop it, though. Let's see. Max characters per second. Let's... what if we just multiply by 10? Okay, let's try it. Let's try it. I just want to be able to do that and not lose the text. There we go. Yeah, and there we go. We can see the effective minimum rotation is back to 0. See that? That's good. So then let's put a cartridge in here. Right? Again, our maximum effective minimum rotation is 0 again. Now let's shoot it. And let's take the magazine out. I should have put 2 rounds in there because... now the effective minimum rotation is 0 again. But we can't pull the trigger. See that? So that's not the problem. It's not an effective minimum rotation problem. See? Because you can see in the log that the effective minimum rotation is... 0. But it's still not letting us pull the trigger. You know what it might be? Is that because the it all goes so fast, it doesn't give the trigger a chance to reset? See what I'm saying? Because it wants the trigger wants to come forward. Yeah, because we copied this logic from the revolver, and so it's using the revolver's code for the hammer and the trigger. I think we need to tweak this a little bit in the context of a semi-auto. So, because this trigger, once it's locked back like this, because the hammer is latched, we should be able to reset it and trip it, but it's not letting us do that. My guess is that the sear is set parameter is not true. And let's look in here. Where's a place that we could reasonably put it? We could put it here, I suppose. So right now, if we drag this, it's going to give us a lot of data. Let's go back to the game, or to the editor, so we can see more of this output right here. So you can see it was true, and then when the trigger breaks, it goes to false. And now it should be true again. Yeah. After the trigger reset is called. And what that's saying is that the sear is holding the sear is holding the hammer, right? Right. So we can just name this variable uh like trigger is reset, but now we're gonna have to fiddle with our rotational values here. Yeah, this is gonna be a little bit of a project. So I'm gonna run to the bathroom real quick, and then yeah, we're going to fiddle with some rotation numbers here. All right. Got the cat over there to keep the stream going. So we can rewrite this. This is a different, uh, now it is interesting because this is still going to have this single action stuff. Now sear is reset. I might rename this to trigger is. And I think that's pretty self-explanatory. Hey, good afternoon, Spectre. It is. We're working on it though. We're working on it. How's your day been? Trying to, yeah, the little cat definitely likes getting pet. This is the new one. She likes eating hair too, so she'll. Bummer. Migraines are no fun. Sorry to hear. Have anything that usually helps with that? Like, I don't know. Uh, yeah, I don't know. It can be really intense, right? Like, uh, need to turn all the lights off and just uh take a chill day in more extreme cases or whatever. It's no joke. No light. Yeah, sleep. Makes sense. Good plans. Uh, let's see. So yeah, and what I'm noticing, I think I've got multiple issues here because this I'm reusing the trigger code right now from the revolver, and it's gonna need to get some pretty significant changes here. So we're starting in on that. So I've renamed uh sear reset to um what you call it, trigger reset, because that makes more sense if we're actually looking at the names of the parts here. And then I'm pretty suspicious. Actually, I know that the first problem we're having here is because when we shoot, so let's go in OBS real quick and let's get our output overlay. So if we look at we're printing out the sear or the trigger reset status. So right there, the trigger is not reset, but now it is reset. If we just tap it, we'll see it print. Now the trigger reset is true, which is good. We load around, so I can stop printing that log line because we already know it's not an issue with the hammer. It's something with the trigger, so that's good. So we can shoot like that, and now the trigger is reset is false. And if we click on it now again, it's still not reset, but it should be reset. So I wonder if we just increase the rotation limit for the trigger reset. Right? Because right now, let's see. Single action rotation is 43. Brake rotation is 46. Reset rotation is 25. Here we go. What if we make the reset rotation 44? I think that might be solving one of our problems. Wonder if we can go render. Project settings. It's 3D physics. Right, that's all right. All right. So I think that might have fixed one of my problems, or not, maybe. We'll see. Hey, there we go. Okay. So that's better. But it's still full auto in first person view because that uses a different function. So this is just gonna rip. So I think that's gonna be easy to fix now that we've got the other problems sorted with the trigger reset. So now if we look at the guns code, and we look at the pull trigger method, here we go. And trigger dot is trigger is reset. Okay. Now we might have a different problem here. Let's see if that does it. It might not. It might not. Because then what causes it to reset when we're in first person view? I'm not sure. So when we're like this. Oh. That's working. That's such a hard shot. There it is. How many do we have left? Just the one in the chamber, I think. Is there one in the chamber? There is. Boink. All right. I think that worked. That's pretty cool. I think we've done it. That was actually easier than I was thinking, so. That was really the whole puzzle. Now we can run the course, I bet. But we can get a better score. My record so far with this gun is 2 minutes and 40 seconds. But now that we've got it working correctly in semi-auto, I think we're going to have an easier time with it. So we just go boop, boop. I'm having a hard time hitting this one. Oh, it's going low. It's going low, that's why. Uh-oh, I shouldn't have done that. I don't have anything loaded. There we go. Okay, I needed to hit that. Okay. Hey! We're on a roll. Alright. Hey! Snuck it in there. 2 minutes, 4 seconds. Beat the record. All right. Okay. Awesome. So that's that problem fixed. So we can remove some log statements here. Which I think we have one in the hammer. We don't need this log statement anymore. You want some lunch, kitty cat? You're gonna wake up the other cat, though, and he's gonna eat it. Yeah? You're gonna have to kick him out first. I'm out. Let's see. I think that was the big one. We've got some log statements in the trigger that we can get rid of now, too. There we go. We've got the trigger reset working properly, so we don't need to be logging that out. Or this. Sweet. So, what do we do next? What do we do next? We've got the gun working. I think we go and work on the level now. Because right now, this game is playable, and it makes sense. We could also work on the high scores page. So, what's a good analogy? Maybe like the Portal games, right? Where it's just you're cranking through the levels, and you can try to go for speed and see how fast you can finish a level or whatever. But people do speedrun Portal, which is a lot of fun. But there's also like a puzzle element to it, right? And as you complete each level, it lets you unlock the next one, and that would be kind of the ideal here. So if we go continue and play, right now, we just have buttons to go to the levels, which is fine, but eventually this might need to be more like a list that we can scroll through. And as you complete a level, it lets you go to the next one. That would be cool. And then also, so this is level 2, and we haven't finished it yet. And I think we should just kind of, oh, we need to finish the safety as well. We need to finish the safety. But I would say let's just kind of, it's a good shot. That's gonna be hard to hit. Just kind of slap together these levels, and let's just make some more levels, so it's not just like a 2-level game. There we go. Just have to properly lead it. But now that's all that we have for this level, other than collecting these acorns. Although we can shoot down the drones, that's kind of fun. Hi! Oh, and we can, here we go. There we go. We can, pop that acorn off that drone. There we go. Woo, got it. So I like that, but, yeah, we do have to get the safety decocker working. That's true, you're not wrong. Shh. It's fine. Yeah, the airfield is gonna be over here. That's the airfield, is in that kind of dugout looking thing, but you're correct. You're correct. The windmill does not have a windmill. Uh but yeah, so we need to get the safety working, and I'm pretty sure on the Makarov, the safety is also a decocker. So we can do that super quick, but we need to spend more time on the actual game. So uh, we need to add more levels. I think we need a really easy little reset button. Um, so either it can just be a button up here in the corner of restart level, and it just drops you right back at the beginning. Um, because you can get yourself in an unwinnable position, like jumping off the island. Although we should probably just have a automatic reset floor as well. But uh, yeah, at this point, this is fun to play. I like it, but there's just not enough content in the game. There's no levels. We need to add more levels. Um, so that we can do. Now, for the safety, I think, yeah, we might need to update the UI so we can have it scroll through a bunch more levels. But that'll be a good problem to have. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. Um, oh, this is a debug line I can get rid of as well. That's in the slide. There it is. On a Makarov, I'm pretty sure this safety is also a decocker. Let's look. Let's look. The Makarov does not have a firing pin block. If the Makarov on safe, it would take force enough to break the safety lever for the hammer to hit the firing pin. Cool, okay. Uh, oh, difference between a Russian Makarov and an East German one. I could believe that. It sounds like it definitely does have a decocker. Okay. All Makarovs have a safety decocker mounted on the slide, the lever down to fire and up for safe or decock. All right. Um, just to let you know, when the decocker moves up, the hammer slams home. Okay, and that's what I was looking for. Um, I was kind of wanting to see it. Well, this is CZ, not a Makarov, but oh, advertisements. Oh, this is a lucky gunner. I like. I think the East German ones can still pull the slide to chamber around and fire the trigger, but the hammer won't actually hit the firing pin. Oh, if the safety is engaged? Interesting. Like it's just actually um so then almost like pulling the trigger is decocking it kind of thing. Okay, this isn't the video I meant to click on actually. Here we go. This is the video. I accidentally hit the next button, I think is what I did. This is not a macro at all. I think when I've seen people use a decocker before, um it kind of drops the hammer to a point, and then when you release the decocker lever, it goes the rest of the way. It's kind of like a two-stage operation. I'm trying to see a video if I could find one of that happening so I can know how to program it. Because I don't. There we go. Oh, I missed it. There. So that's a SIG decocker, and you could see that, right? So it kind of dropped the hammer like boop, and then when he let the lever back up again, it went the rest of the way down, you know? Right, so he goes, there you go, and you see it falls just a little, and then he released it, and it went all the way up. But I'm just hoping maybe this guy will do it. We're just gonna kind of hunt through the video to find it. It doesn't have to be accurate either. If we just do a simple implementation of it for starters. But yeah, show me the lever. If I don't find it in a minute, I'm just gonna YOLO it, and we're gonna just kind of guess because that's a fine idea. We're gonna be close enough, I'm sure. Someone can correct me if they actually have one. Oh, there it is. Hey, that's what I wanted to see. All right, here we go. Ready? Here it is. Here it is. Hey, 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 hey. Pulls it up. Just drops. That's it. That's easy. That's going to be easy to code as well. All right. Maybe I save this video for my notes because I can even click just save on this, can I? Sweet. All right, all right, all right. So if we look at our safety here, well, does he? I should have kept that open. I wonder what happens if you try to pull the trigger then too. My guess is because we do have a gun with a safety here. They're not going to let us pull the trigger is usually what's going to be the case, right? This is clear, so we're good. There, nothing in here. But if we put the safety on, right, it's just not going to let us pull the trigger at all. Just won't break. Empty magazine. This one has a magazine disconnect, so we need a magazine in there for it to go. But if we push the safety off, then it will let us pull it the rest of that way. So let's make a script for the safety if I don't already have one. Oh, we can get that debug window out of there. There we go. Okay. Safety is here. It does have a script, so here we go. Unsafe is false. And we can add a signal. So let's go signal decock. Okay. And when it toggles the safe on, we can at this point say emit signal decock. And oh, End of statement. Did I do that wrong? I always forget the syntax. Emit signal underscore. Okay. Safety emits underscore. East German ones can still. Yeah, they emit signal. Thanks. Yeah. uh. So, and then if we go to the trigger, well, the hammer actually. Safety. Here, let me look at the nodes, and this signal, we want to listen to it in the hammer. So on safety decock. And then easiest way to do this would probably just be to say, have a flag. It's default to false. And then I think I have a method here. Signals in Godot 4 are better? How so? What do they have different? Does it like uh keep these tied together so even if I rename it, it still keeps the function name correct in the interface? We should have a method in here called drop hammer. Yeah, just right there, dot drop. Okay. And then where do we have the firing pin struck signal? Hammer struck. Here we go. First class objects in Godot, so no need for strings. Nice. Very cool. That sounds nice. The waiting for them is easier and shorter. Nice. Very cool. I'm always down for easier and shorter. So now if we cock it, and let's put a round in there so we can see if it's going to work or not. Alright, and then we do the decocker. There you go. Now, if we take it off safe, and we pull the trigger again, that should shoot. So that's good. That's good. Could write await decock and... so like some asynchronous stuff even. That's kind of cool. Very cool. Yeah, absolutely. Like multi-threaded kind of thing. Or maybe more like, yeah, asynchronous. That makes a lot of sense. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I could see that being much better. There's one problem here, which is that's fine. That's fine. I suppose. Take that empty mag out if we want to close the slide. But it should not play the sound if it's already fully down. So if it's already fully down, how can we have that happen? because it still calls drop. It still calls drop, and that's part of the problem. Um, so how can we tell if it's uh well, this would be easy. We can just couch it in this kind of a statement. Duh. All right, there we go. Now it should work as we want it to. All right, well that didn't take very long at all, so we didn't get out of making a level. It's time to... Well, it's not quite done yet, so we you still have to program that bit, but there we go. So see how the sound effect only plays when it actually drops the hammer. Okay, that's good. But then lastly, the trigger shouldn't allow the trigger to pull if the uh, if the safety is on. So that means the trigger is going to have to have a pointer to the safety, which is easy enough. So now if we go up here, when we initialize everything, and we can just make a safety is going to be frame safety, right? Or is the safety a child of something else? Safety is a child of the slide. Okay. Isn't it? I think so. And the slide is a child of the frame, right? Yeah, it is. That's this line right here. I gotta switch to my other mouse that actually has... Oh, I brought it upstairs. Dang it. To do my taxes. Okay. Um, frame, slide, safety. Yeah, it's gotta be. All right. Well, if that doesn't work, then so be it. We'll find out. Um, and then down here in the ready method, there we go. Which that's not great. Uh, and we could also listen for a signal on the sibling, but since we're reading a property, uh, I think this is cleaner for what I'm doing. So, um, although I could be wrong, I don't know much about best practices here. But what we're gonna do is go to the trigger, back rotation. Now, and we can go here as well. So on pull trigger on the gun, there we go. What did we call it on the safety? Safety dot safe. Okay. Yeah, there we go. Node not found. Frame slide safety. Oh, the slide is at the top level. That's why. That's why. Easy. That makes sense. The frame isn't parented to the slide. Yeah. Or the slide isn't parented to the frame. So there's that. And then if we go to trigger, so we could be fancy and we could actually stop it. Uh, So right here, we could say if safety.safe we we limit its motion to not going past. And it should probably be past the reset point. And negative is more trigger pull. So the furthest all the way back trigger most pulled is negative 48. It breaks at negative 46. Single action, it holds it at negative 43. It resets at negative 44. So it probably shouldn't let it past negative 45 if the safety is set. That sounds fine. That's like just before the break. The safety is preventing it from going past that point. So if the safety is set, then it has a different clamp to safety minimum rotation. Cool. We could do that another way too. We could have another flag as like effective minimum rotation and then overwrite that, but I think this is cleaner and it's more readable. You can see exactly what's happening. So now uh, the safety really should work. So right now we can break the trigger with the, but if we turn on the safety, we can't. Now, does the double action work at all if the safety is on? I don't know. The decocker works. I think this is going to be okay. And you can't pull the trigger if the safety's on. Safety's off, you can pull the trigger. Cool. I think that works. And even if we load it up, decock it, pull the trigger, nothing happens. Take the safety off. Everything works. Sweet. I like the ejection. I like the ejecting rounds. The ejecting rounds look really good. Okay. Cool. So, let's finish up the airfield level. We could add a windmill to the windmill level. That'd be pretty easy. Uh, make it a very basic bitch windmill. Just something really simple. Like, let's see. Yeah, like something like this would be pretty easy to model. Right. Or like this. This is what I'm most used to, really, is these kind. We make something that looks like that. Cool. Easy. Let's do it. All right, Blender. And how tall are those usually? I'd say they're like probably 2 or 3 stories tall. So, what is that? Like, let's say 50 feet tall. So what would that be in meters? Like 10 meters? 15. Yeah, let's say it's a 15 meter tall windmill. That's easy. All right. I am ridiculous and slow at modeling, so just just a forewarning. So let's go. Now I should have my hotkeys mapped. I do. Hey, that's good. Okay, that's good. And I really should go grab my other mouse because this one is atrocious with the scroll wheel. But we'll suffer through it for a second. No, I won't. I'm gonna go get the right mouse for the job. Yeah. Lenovo vertical one is just such a brick. It's a very big old heavy mouse compared to like the cheap little $15 Amazon vertical mouse, which is much lighter. So it's hard to game with this one. Uh, so if I'm playing a game or something, I'll use this one because it just is much more mouse-like. But this one actually works with the scroll wheel. So, which to this one's credit, it lasted like a year and a half before this scroll wheel started acting up. But all right, now we're in business. Yeah. That's not what I wanted. There we go. Okay, so let's make this super dumb and easy. So if I want a pyramid kind of shape, but then I want, what if we kind of do this? Might this work? So we're gonna make a four-sided pyramid windmill. Is that what we want? Yeah, that's right. Okay. So let's kind of just take our default cube here. Go there. And then the default cube's 2 units, right? So if I go move these guys up to say 15. Um, what is that, 10? Let's go with 10. Right. And it doesn't have to be perfect, but we may as well put it right at 10 because why not? Oh, well, that's 10. Okay. All right, maybe we'll do 12. And then let's merge all these together. So merge at center. Maybe let's make this a little bigger. Like that, maybe. And then let's go a little higher. Let's go to 15. Why not? So here's the idea. What if we just take these and we do inset faces? Probably doing that wrong. They're not going to let me do it on all of them once. Hmm. Okay. You just do an extrude. instead, but instead of region, we do individual. Okay, there we go. Hmm. Might this work? Because then we can take this. Right? And then we can make kind of flip these over. So I want these. These would be underground. Don't want these. Right? So we delete those faces. And then we just kind of make a face here. Face here. And these faces we're going to want to flip. So the flip normals. Is that what we want? Yeah, flip normals. There we go. Cool. And then probably not going to see this from the top, but close that up anyway. And same thing here. We're probably not going to see this from the bottom either, but we can just cap these off. Although that would maybe be a good spot to not put a polygon because we're not going to see it. But there we go. Got a little... Windmill. Windmill is the idea. You missed my disclaimer, which is I'm a slow and incompetent modeler, so don't expect too much from my models. But uh, we're just going for kind of good enough. That's not what I want. Let's just do a knife, huh? And wireframe so it cuts the whole thing. Yeah, there we go. Can I lock this so it goes in a straight direction? Well, that's okay. We can just... No, we really can't. We could loop cut. Okay, good, good, good. uh, yeah, I could have sworn there was a way I could... Because I just don't want this to... I want it to do that. I want it to just stay straight. Oh, I'm probably hitting the button too early, aren't I? All right, that's fine. That's gonna be good enough for me. Maybe say like that. We'll go with that. I think that'll work. Oh, I clicked out of it. I'm silly. Knife project. Yeah, that would probably be the right way to do it. Okay, yeah, there we go. That'll work. That'll work. Because we just want some little trusses going in here. Why did that not go to the other half of the thing? Ah, that's silly. Okay, how do I do a knife project? Oh, yeah, snapping to grid would work. Yeah, that's probably the easiest. Let's see. That's a good point. Is this snap? That's snap, yeah. Well, that's snap during transform at least. Let's see. So let's go back knife. It's doing that thing again. Do I have to hold down? Now when I press shift, it does something different. That looks like it's going all the way through. All right. Occlude geometry. Oh, there we go. We want to turn off occlude geometry. Angle snap. Here we go. Here we go. There we go. There we go. All right. Now we're cooking. Now we're cooking. Knife project should be under mesh knife project. Sure, sure, sure. Use other objects' outlines to project knife cuts. Here we go. I think this is going to do it. I think this is going to do it. We got this, the angle snap going for us. Okay. And now we don't have it set to occlude. There we go. Yes. Now we're cooking. Hey, that's what. See, it only took me like 10 minutes to get. Now, this bit, I know we can do. We can just hit the B button, right? Nope. Bridge. Control E. All right, there we go. There we go. Control E. Nope. Yeah, Control E kind of gets us there. Control E. Yeah, yeah, yeah. All right. Control E. Nice. Yeah, that's reasonable. All right, now that we know how to do it, Control EL. We can do one or two more. So if we go knife, and let's see, kind of, so we've got this at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 meters up. So what if we do it at 4? 1, 2, 3, 4? Just so they look kind of uniform. Boop. And then we just kind of eyeball the, well, I've got them at, what, like 20 centimeters down, so something like that. That's not perfect, but that's okay. And then, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Would it make sense to have one here? That doesn't make it look too goofy. And then again, just a bit down from that, like here. Good. Sweet. Control EL. Oh, yes, that works. Control EL. My grandparents always did and still do have a windmill that looks like this. It's kind of the metal kind of lattice kind of looking thing. Well, okay, not quite like that one. That's a little mini one, but you know, you get the idea. That's what we're going for. Yeah, this sort of thing. There you go. That's probably the best picture. Something like that. Something like that. So, we're not going to get too fancy with it. But as long as it's recognizable, then I'm going to be happy. Yeah, I think that does it. I think that works. All right, and then what does the top of these things look like? It's got like a flat platform kind of thing, so that's easy enough. A little square and a square. And then right at the top, there's going to be like a cylinder, and then some spokes, and then the tail on the back, and then the fan blades. So I'm going to have to remember how to do a cylindrical array or whatever, but that's all right. Let's add a cylinder. Let's look at it from this angle. Let's say something like that. And the depth is probably fine. And then let's set its Y position to 0. Its Z position to 12. Nope, that's a lie. 15. Something like that. Right. Yeah, my consistent uh thought so far is just to that works. I'm not what view are we at right here? This is the front? Yeah, yeah, no, I agree. I agree, I agree. And there's a lot of good games like the old Mario Karts or things like that, like on the Nintendo 64 or whatever, where they just didn't have the memory to have, or the computing rendering power to have like super realism. So they focused more, I feel like, on the gameplay. And as far as like the Mario Kart games, I feel like the old ones were the most fun. Like the new Mario Karts are also fun, but like the battle mode in the new Mario Karts don't seem nearly as enjoyable, but they look beautiful. But yeah, exactly. All right, which view is this? This is right side view. Oh, okay, that's fine. And yeah, let's do something like that. Oh, we're snapping. Now we're snapping. All right, well, that's fine. That looks okay. It's kind of going to clip into that, but what if we turn snapping off for just a second? There we go. Just a little bit up. Yeah, that's better. Totally. Yeah. I never played the Super Nintendo Mario Kart, but I should try it. All right, and then let's just make a little tail looking thing. So let's go over here and let's just add cube and let's make it skinny. Something like that. And then scale this in the Z direction. So we kind of go, whoop. Yeah, I think that looks okay. And kind of just line them up. Cool. Let's see. And then we could don't play with the mode 11 optics are pretty barf, inducing by today's standards. So not sure how I managed that as a kid. Okay, got it. Is that on Super Nintendo or SNES Mario Kart? Let's see how this. Got it. Makes sense. X position 0. Yeah, that's fine. And then there we go. Scale Z. Down like that. Then extrude. And then hold on. Oops. There we go. Yeah, that's fine. I was gonna maybe change its shape a little bit, but I think that's gonna be okay. A little skinnier. Cool. All right. Eh. Yeah, I think that's gonna be okay. Tracks in the SNES version are made with fake 3D Mode 7. Oh. I think I've seen a video about people who did work on like emulating that or whatever. Got it, got it, got it. Makes sense. Let's see, what else does this thing look like? Got some spokes. We got some fan blades. How many are on here? 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 or so. Sounds about right. Uh, button is which? There we go. Okay. So let's go. Can I do add circle? Sure I can. X rotation 90. Yep. Secret of Mana or Evermore. Mode 7. I don't know if I've done those ones, but I feel like I definitely know what it looks like. Um, Gotta love ads. I should put an ad blocker on my Firefox. Easy problem to solve. And so this is just normal 2D, right? For the world map. Gotcha. Sure, sure, sure. Mhm. Yeah, I know maybe I'm not on the right. Oh, here. There we go. There we go. There we go. Totally. Yeah, 100%. Very cool. Yeah, the fake 3D. Absolutely. I feel like there was a lot of computer games in like the 90s that had a similar technology behind them or whatever. Because we had a lot of educational games, is what we were allowed to play. And that's what I definitely recognize some of that from. Let's see. So if we extrude, I don't want to extrude individual. Okay, I'm silly because I'm making this hard on myself. So if I go, I just make a face, and then I do inset. No, we just, not sure why inset isn't working for me. Maybe I'm doing it wrong. But that's fine. And then I could even go, yeah, that's not what I wanted to do though. So this must be frustrating. Sorry. I just do, no, that didn't actually extrude. If we extrude and then we cancel it, now we've got an overlying face, overlapping face. And then we do this, like there, and then we delete it. This is what I've been meaning to do. There we go. Oh, I've got two of them. All right, there we go. Cool. And then it should let me select a loop, shouldn't it? Oh well. Select. Select linked. Okay, there we go. And then let's go from the front. Which button is that? There we go. Let's just kind of line that up so it's in the middle-ish. Extrude it. And now, there we go. That's what I was going for. Yeah, that looks all right. And then let's make another one of those. And let's see, how do I so just duplicate this? Ah, this is really what I should have done from the beginning, because then I know it's going to be concentric with the yeah, let's do that. So Control L selects linked. Okay. Makes me a little faster, doesn't that? Okay. Let's make the big one first, maybe. Okay, let's extrude and do that, and then do this. And let's make these a little thinner, so let's do that. Let's make another one. Like here, maybe. There we go. Now we're cooking. Okay. And now we know these are concentric with the front of the windmill, so now it's going to let me select an edge loop. That's nice. Okay. Hey, okay. See, we know how to make objects. Cool. Control L, select linked. Okay. Control L. Hey, all right. And now we extrude these. And we've got our spokey things. Cool. Awesome. Okay, and now we just need blades. So let's look over here. Right. Easy enough. So let's go like this, and let's go add cube. So should probably about the right size that way, but we gotta go like, hang on. Something like that. That's gonna be probably fine. All right. And then maybe something like that. And then Control L. Aha. Let's rotate it. Now, here's a good question. Which way are they rotated? Kind of pitched that way, I suppose. Rotate X. Like that. And I think they're all kind of in front like that. And then they're supported in the back. Like that. That looks okay. And then let's do a array. And we want this to be hang on. I also have to remember how to do this. Oh, okay, maybe we need to do a curve, yeah. All right, here we go.
In this tutorial how to have objects that are snapped for snap, cursor to active, and decrease the radius and the height.
Oh, true. Yeah, if I just like used my brain and I was like, all right, if wind was blowing at this, which way is it gonna spin?
X-axis and hover over the face, and here you can see that it is snapped and rotated to the target, but the movement is constrained to the x-axis. Origin, and then check well of the cylinder for the empty as well. So open
Okay, I think I remember. So we have an empty.
the view panel with the cylinder selected, and the rotation for the x-axis is 24.1. The other values can be set to set the same rotation. Alright, now I select the cylinder again, open the modifier panel, and then I add an array modifier. But instead of using the relative offset, I choose the empty object for the object offset, and then I enable this option. Okay, now I have to define the number of items that I want to have in my array. I set it.
Okay. So I think I'm gonna use that. So if we look at object offset, let's add an empty. So let's go. We're probably gonna need to get out of edit mode, right? Add. That looks fine. And then if we go back to our, call this windmill. Okay, go back in here. Oh, and now we're gonna have to probably have this be a separate object, right? So let's go mesh, and then we might want to separate it, right? Do we want to split it or do we want to separate it? Makes sense, yeah. No, I mean, even if it was intuitive and easy, I'd still have to look it up, but yeah. Um, let's see, do I have that? I have the right stuff selected. I do. Okay, there we go. My 3 key is what I've got. It's bound to front view. Okay. Let's try that again. Mesh, what if we do separate selection? There we go. Yep, that worked. Okay, cool. Let's call this blade. And now let's get rid of the array modifier on the windmill, and let's go back to the blade and add an array modifier. Oh, that's not what I wanted, was it? Is it not actually distinct from the windmill? Oops. Are we still in edit mode? We're still in edit mode. Oops. Duh. Okay. Go to the blade. Now it has an array modifier. All right. Okay, here we go. And then we don't want fit to curve. Let's do fixed count. Let's not do relative offset. Let's do object offset. Let's do the empty. Let's say we want 10 of them. Let's say we want 18 of them, just because why not? And let's take the empty and let's twist it and see if this just works. Ah, nope. Okay. It's kind of working. Okay. Oh, and so we need to change the probably the center point to be the cursor. We want the cursor to be the center of the. So let's go back to the this guy. Let's see. Fixed count, object offset. We can have more than one of these selected, I suppose. Ah. Okay. So let me. I glossed over some parts here.
To 15. But to see these items in a circle now, you have to rotate the empty object around the local Z-axis. So set the transform orientations to local, then I press R and Z, and when I move the mouse now you can see the circle
Okay, so we're missing something from prior in his setup here.
face. And here you can see that it is snapped and rotated to the target, but the movement is constrained to the X-axis. This set the snapping to face, center, and check to align the rotation to the target. Okay, then I press G and X to move it along the X-axis and hover over the face. And here you can see that it is snapped and rotated
Now,
to
here's
the target.
the truth of it. Here's the truth of it. We actually don't need to make it this complicated. We don't even need to go down this path because I can cheat. I can just take this blade. So the modifier is removed now. And we can get rid of this empty. Or not. It's not hurting anything. But I wonder if we just do this. What if we just do duplicate, rotate, and then we change this to be cursor as our rotation center. Hang on. Transform orientation. No, hold on. Actually, we want the transform. There's a different. We want to change the transform. Pivot point. Here we go. The 3D cursor. I wonder if it would have worked now if I've got my modifier on it, actually. Object offset, object is empty. We give it a couple of these. And then we take the empty and we twist it. Nah, it's still not quite working. Although I might need to change my origin of the blade. Where's my blade origin? So here, let's back up. Let's get rid of this. Modifier. Oh, no, actually. There we go. Well, hang on. I'm a little lost. I'm not sure why. Back up. Okay. Yeah. I think that's the issue too. So what if we go, this I know how to do. This I know how to do. Um, Affect only origins. So if we look at the, okay, I have 2 blades. Oh, because I duplicated it. That's right. That's fine. Yeah, I think the origin is, yeah, right? Oh no, the origin is down there, isn't it? Yeah. That's true. Okay, there we go. 100%. You're absolutely right. That's the problem. Now we actually might be able to do it the right way. So if we delete that, and now we get rid of this tool affect only origins, otherwise I'll get super confused. Array, object offset, empty. There we go. 18. We're going to be able to fit that many. And now we take the empty and we rotate it. Oh, yeah. There we go. Now, 18 is probably too many. So let's go down. What if we go down to 12? All right, and they're kind of like bunching up. That's interesting. Wonder how come. So let's look at the empty. Transform. Let's go rotation. Y is 0. Okay. Okay. Yep, that looks better. Oh, yeah. Well, that looks fine. Oh, wow. Okay, they're going they're going that way. That's not what's supposed to happen. I've probably got that relative transform still turned on over here, right? No, I don't. Well, that's a little peculiar. Uh, what if we set the empty's location to 0? There we go. Easy. Easy. Wasn't even worried. All right. There we go. I like that. That looks pretty sharp. Okay, let's call that good. Let's call that good. We could maybe like add a little cone on the front of it or something if we wanted. Let's go back to the windmill. Now let's get these guys selected. Sure why that isn't. I was getting confused at how the selection loops work. There we go. That worked. Let's shade these smooth. Rotation of the empty is 3. Ah. So I could have mathed it properly. That makes sense. Yeah, totally. Shade those smooth, and then let's add. Actually, we want to shade the whole thing smooth, and then just add a edge split. Easy, right? And then let's just add a little cap on the front so it doesn't look silly. So There we go. I don't know. I keep trying to Control L. Do that because we can just duplicate it. Move that up. Move that back. And then what we could even just bevel that, or we could shrink it. What do we think would look better? Probably beveling it, huh? There we go. Okay. Yeah, something like that. And then that's way too big. That looks a little goofy. So let's Control L. Go from the front. Imperfections add charm. Exactly. 100%. Good attitude. And then let's scale her down. Like that, maybe. And oops, let's not deselect that just yet. Let's move it. Something like that. Perfect. Beautiful. That's beautiful. All right, done. That looks like a windmill. I think that looks like a windmill. That'll work for us. Now, the last thing I should do is I should take everything that's going to be spinning. So, like everything here forward. So, see. Can we? There we go. We do this cleanly. Go like this. And we go select. Linked. Oh, that didn't work. We want to be in wireframe, I say. There we go. Select. There we go. Yep, that's the right bit. And then let's go mesh. What did we determine? Split is the right one. Selection. There we go. Then we can get out of edit mode. We can say blades. Well, and that part really isn't going to spin, is it? Yeah, maybe that was silly. Here, let's back up. Really, if anything, we could take the whole top part because that could swing left to right kind of thing if we ever get that far in coding it, which wouldn't hurt to just do this up properly. This bit we can say separate selection. Call this the head or something. Call this the frame. And then let's go ahead and apply. Are we still in edit mode? Yeah. Let's go apply. And let's change our pivot point to that. There we go. And then let's move origins. Let's kind of slide that guy forward so it kind of makes sense. Cool. Yeah, I think that's fine. And then let's do some super basic colors. So let's think about it. We can get rid of this empty. Now we can get rid of the camera and the light as well. So we don't get those pulled over to Godot, but what do we think? So the windmill's gonna go right there in the middle is where it's meant to go. So a lot of green around. It could have a little blue on it, maybe. I think that would look nice. So we're gonna do this the easy way. Control L. Let's go material, add. Let's just call it blue. Metal. And we'll make it a nice shade of blue, something like that. And then go assign, right? And then let's make the nose blue too. Assign. Oop, that didn't work. Assign. And maybe do the little loopy bits. Nah, I think that's good. And then the base material, we can just rename it metal. And let's make it a little bit more of like a gray, so it's not just like, yeah. And then the blades we could maybe make white, because that might look good. So let's go add blades. And yeah, have that be more of a white, and then it's fine. Oh, well, oops. I did that wrong. Get rid of this. I know it doesn't really delete it, right? There's some weird stuff with how materials work, and that's just going to be in there forever or something, right? Okay, let's go. There we go. A little bit different color for the blades. Cool. All right, sender. Yeah. I've read enough articles that I can't understand to know that it's weird. Cool. We're going with it. I should have been saving this as I was going, but well, here we are. Kit, garden, or this is gonna be, yeah, I could go in the garden kit, that's fine. And let's just call this windmill. Maybe I should have no, it's fine. Cool. And then let's export it. Not sure if that's I wonder if we made the blue a little bit darker. Add here. I mean, this isn't exactly what it's gonna look like either, but same kind of shade, but what if the darkness, here we go. We'll go just a little darker. Like that, maybe. Yeah, I think that maybe looks better. We'll try it as a start. Cool. We're not going to be too picky. This isn't very fancy. All right, there it is. And make sure we go apply modifiers. I did not set the metal value to 1, which is a good point. Because that would make it a little bit more reflective, right? Go like, say, to our metal texture here. Metallic. Is that the right one? Ew. I like that. And then we could do that for the blue as well, I suppose, if we go here. Oh, is my head probably blocking, isn't it? Sorry. Yeah, cool. Perfect. That'll just make it shiny, right? Go ahead. Materials, blue, shiny. Nailed it. Awesome. All right, I like it. Save, export, and everything's at the same scale space in theory. So if we go to our windmill level now, level, windmill, all right, here she be. And then let's just grab that fancy, nice new windmill that we just made, which is in kit, garden kit. And, oh, where'd that go? Did I not finish exporting it? I thought I exported it. Maybe I have to refresh. Yeah, it is in there. It is in there already. Apply modifiers. Forgot to do that. That's for the edge split. That's important. There we go. There we go. It just took it a second. All right. Cool. Okay, it's in there somewhere, but where did it go? Too many trees. Oh, I got rid of my face again, didn't I? Not that that's required, but yes, we are very organized. Oh, hang on. Before I do that, let's close this without making save changes because I think I did that wrong. Um, let's open the level again, but then let's open this guy as a new inherited. Here we go. And then we'll save this as game kits, garden. Is there a search tool? That's actually uh good to know. Put that here. Yeah, here we go. Here's our scene. And now go here. Hey, okay. That might be a little larger than I intended it to be, but that's okay. We can just scale it down a little bit. I mean, it might be about right. It might be about right. Yeah, it's kind of facing the right way too. Maybe I'll face it this way a little bit. Yeah, I think that looks all right. Totally, right there. Bam. Nice. I honestly, it's probably about the right size. Probably about the right size. Um, so then, now initially I'd intended this so that there would be like a acorn hidden behind it, and you'd have to shoot through the blades to get it down. I don't know if I'm gonna do that right now because uh, it's gonna be tough to shoot through those little skinny blades, and we don't need to mess with it. Now, if this was a real windmill, it would have a like a little one of those wells below it where it pumped water kind of thing. We're not gonna do that either. But uh, we could hide an acorn up here somewhere. So let's definitely do that. Just so you have to do something with it. So if we go duplicate, let's just pop that up on the top. Oh yeah, wow, that's bang on the money. We lined that up perfectly. Yeah, I'll just put it right on the top. That's easy. Cool. Nice. All right, and then lastly, let's make it spin. So let's go use the handy dandy search function. There it is. Let's go into this scene here, and then let's make. It's been a minute since I did a Godot animation. Oh, let's go editable children. How do we do that? Hmm. Because it shouldn't be a monolithic item. We have different objects split up here. We should have them. Hmm. Well, first of all, let's just run it and see if it looks okay. Yeah, I like it. I think that's fine. Maybe it's a little big. Might be a little big. I'll shrink it a little bit, I think. But not by much. Not by much. Hmm? Yeah, I would like that. Still in the middle? Yep, still lined up. Cool. That looks about right. The if anything, I think the blades could be a little larger compared to the tower, you know? Uh, oops, we're affecting origins only again. Yeah, something like that. I think that looks all right. Uh, cool. So now, how come I didn't get separate objects? What's the deal with that? So what if we go export? We include everything. But it doesn't usually, we just re-exported it. And sometimes I have to close and reopen when I do that. Import option in Godot. Got it. Let's quit out of Godot and then open it back up. Because, like, when I do the gun models, it usually just already has them all separated. So let me try it again. Let's look. Let's look. If I go here. Here. So what if we, let's get rid of our scene. And now it's going to make the level mad at me, but we'll get there. Okay, so we try new inherited. There we go. See, now it's got the different parts. Interesting. I wonder why it didn't do that the first time. Weird. I don't know what I did differently, but it worked that time. All right. Save as. Okay. Perfect. And then to go with the conventions, we're going to call this Windmill with a capital W, because that's what we do. And now if we go to the level, it's probably going to yell at me because I've changed up that file, although it might accept it because I called it the same thing. Level. Oh yeah, it's still there. All right. Cool. Awesome. Well, that looks good. So now let's try to add an animation here. So let's go animation player. Now, and already I can see I've made a mistake again because we want the blades to be childed to the head. So let's do that, and then let's go export it one more time. Okay. Good. Good. Perfect. See if it just rolls with that. It might not. I might need to re-import it, but it might work. Okay. Good. Garden. Windmill? Oh yeah, it worked. It worked. It just took that in stride. That's cool. Okay. So now let's go new animation. Oops. Okay, let's rename that. Oh boy. Me. There we go. Okay. Cool. And let's make this a, and we really, if we want to do this the right way, we only rotate it one blade's width, and then we just loop that. So that's what we'll do. That's what we'll do. May as well do it properly. I do get turned around that the blender front is the Godot back. But, oh well. Alright. Now just think about this. If I blow on it, it's going to push on them, and they're going to turn clockwise. It's got to be. Yeah, they're going to turn clockwise. I'm pretty sure. Alright. And let's make this a 3-second animation, maybe? And then we can speed it up or slow it down as we like. But let's look at the blades. Let's go to their transform, rotation, and let's put a keyframe there, or a animation on it. I don't like the reset track, so I'm not going to use that. Okay, and then to here, let's rotate it. And this is a case where I can use your 360 trick. So did I use 12 blades? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah. So 360 over 12 should come out to a relatively round number, right? Can't type. In the wrong keyboard layout. That's my excuse. It's 30 degrees exactly, so that's easy. By the way, I'm slightly anticipating the 30. Yeah, thanks. New Monkey Island game. Uh, uh, that's different than Monkey Ball, is what my brain thinks immediately, but ah. I don't think I'm familiar with this at all. Need an ad blocker. Oh, we didn't get an ad. Lucasfilm.
Gilbert told me he'd never make another Monkey Island unless...
Pieces of 8. Have you got a helmet?
See? I'm innocent!
Is this the right game?
But why are you in jail if you're innocent?
I was framed! I didn't touch the stupid flowers!
Nice. I'm not familiar,
What
but this
flowers?
looks very similar to like the style of computer games from back in the day.
It's against the law to pick them.
So, how's the food in there?
Oh, you know, the usual. Slop, grog, gruel, rats.
Got it.
Make me want to puke.
I am rubber, you are glue.
Nice. Very cool. How long has it been since the first one? Is it like they made... Are there several games in the series, or they just made one game? 1984? Gosh. Yeah. And there's been a significant gap between them. Very cool. Well, I'm glad they're doing more with it. I'm trying to think of like a good example of a game like this that I played a lot of as a kid. Like, there's so many. I mean, a lot of them are educational or whatever, but like we played a lot of these ones.
Commander Sage here. I will explain your assignment as we arrive at Sky Entering.
Suspects, but I'm sure we
Yeah,
can
totally.
narrow it down
Point and click
to just
adventures,
one
yeah.
culprit for each of the mysteries.
Anyway, yeah. For sure. Would be kind of like the broad category, would be point and click adventures. Like, Myst was another really popular one, right? That was kind of like a bunch of still frames that were 3D rendered, which is kind of an interesting genre. So let's go, was it Z rotation? Yeah, let's go 29 degrees. Ooh, is this not going to be perfectly symmetrical? We'll have to see if this actually works. We didn't add a keyframe there. This might be a little bit choppy if I didn't do this correctly, but we'll give it a go. So what if we say turn on looping and then we play it? That's turning the wrong way as well. Yeah, that's very, very not right. Missed, yeah, totally. So we have several problems. One, it's spinning the wrong way. Secondly, my my model isn't very symmetrical. So I'm gonna cheat and I'm just gonna spin it all the way around. So let's make this more like a 10-second animation, and let's just pull this keyframe all the way out. Now I do always, so let's go -359 or whatever. I don't know if that's gonna work. Let's give it a go. It might. And then let's see if it loops properly. Yeah, that's reasonable. I think that'll work. I think that'll work. Cool. And then if we really wanted, we could add another one. We can just have it over the course of like 10 seconds, kind of sway back and forth on the top. So we can go head. Now, ooh, I hope its axis is in the right spot. Yes, it is. Okay, that's okay. That's okay. That works. That works. Let's key its rotation. All right, we could use curves for this. That might not be a bad idea. No, we really only want to use the Y rotation. So it's going to start. What is this? Rotation degrees Y. This is the Y. So we really don't care about the other ones. We can probably even delete these tracks. There we go. Only deal with the Y rotation. And then what if we go kind of in? If you put an animation player under the parent node, you should be able to animate all the children as well. Oh, that's true. So we could really, we do this all as one piece, right? We wouldn't have to do this as two separate. Yeah. We could have the blades and the, if we want to have the head sway a little bit, all under the same thing. Absolutely. That makes sense. So we make this a 9-second animation, and then we have it kind of go to the right, just a little bit, like maybe even that much. And then let's add a keyframe. So here we go, keyframe. Oh, well, that didn't save. The right. And then center. And left. I'm going to need a few more frames. Let's do 12 seconds. And then back towards center. We're just shy of there. One was coming from the negative side, wasn't it? I think so. See if that loops okay. Loop. Kind of. It's moving. The tail's moving left, and then it should keep moving left. It does. What if we just have it smack on 0? If that looks cleaner. It's moving slow enough. It shouldn't be that noticeable, right? Yeah, there we go. Yeah, that looks better. Now, and we are doing. I think for these two ends, we should get rid of the smoothing just because. No, just kidding. I goofed it up. Undo. I don't know if I get an undo here. Sure I do. Okay, let's just leave it be. That's going to be good enough. Let's turn on autoplay for both of those. Autoplay on load. And then there it is. That looks alright. Yeah, and you could, if you wanted, you could try to shoot it through the windmill blades. It'd be a little tricky, but it's not impossible. That's kind of cool. I like that. That's not a complete non-interactive component. That's got some interactivity to it. We gotta wait. Or we can just wait for the wind to move it, I suppose. There we go. Okay. Got it. Cool. Right now it's a little too easy. Yeah, that's okay. Captain Furball is here. Hey! You say boo. What's up? Oh, the windmill level actually has a windmill now, and that's bad? Or it's not full auto anymore. Oh, you're right. Yeah, there is no collision. It's also true. There we go. That's always such a hard thing to shoot. That little target, which I like. I like that it's hard to shoot. I have an extra bullet just floating around there. Yeah. It's interesting because on my YouTube viewer graph, when... Yes, unfortunately we fixed the full auto. But it means that we can actually play the level now, which is good. I like that. I think that's about the right size and everything. I mean, it's mostly me just struggling with modeling and Spectre coaching me through how to use Blender features. We get this? Oh yes, catch it! Hey, we got it! And the end target should be open. Ah, got it! Success. 2 minute 29. That's okay, we were dicking around in the beginning. Very cool. Very cool. Yeah, our animations are all working on that. Exactly. But yeah, no, Furball, you probably is late for you over there, so definitely get some sleep if it is late. Hope your day's been going well. Good weekend there so far, I hope. Let's see. Yeah, I think that's probably a good stop spot for me too. I might go find some lunch, but yeah, I'm happy with that. That ended up looking nice. Now we just have one map that's misnamed. The windmill map does actually have a windmill. Oh, we've got collisions. Yeah, let's do the collisions. So, what if we just go mesh, tri-mesh, collision sibling. How would that look? This is gonna be easy. We can do this. That. Collision shape. Now, why is that unhappy with me? Oh, because we need to set this to be a static body, I think. Okay, well, hang on. That's easy. It's easy too. Mesh. There we go. That's what we needed to do. And then same for the frame. Mesh. And the head. Now this collision shape should only include this, not the blades, right? If we hide this one. Yeah, good. Cool. And then the collision mask on these guys should be... not the player. It should be on the environment layer. And then what should it collide with? It should collide with the player and also with... I think that's right. Here, let me compare it to something else that's shootable. Like a tree. Or a bush. Where's the bush? There's the bush. So if we look at the collision shape here. Okay. It's on the environment layer and it has no mask. So we should copy that configuration here. Environment layer, no mask. Environment layer, no mask. All right. I would not have thought about that if you hadn't mentioned it. So thanks for mentioning it. All right. Now I think we should be in business. Now I think we can shoot the windmill. Alright, so can we see the bullet holes? Oh yeah, we put a bullet hole in that. I'm not sure if you'll be able to see it on the stream, but... Now I want to try to not shoot through the blades to make sure that the blades can stop the bullet, you know? So turn towards me. There we go. Yeah, there we go. We shot the blade. It would have hit the acorn except that we shot the blade. There we go. Yep, we have to actually shoot through the blades now. Sweet. Alright, maybe we'll grab a screenshot from that. Sweet. Awesome. Rock on! Thanks for all the Blender help, Spectre. And thanks for stopping by. Hope your day's going well there. I'm gonna go grab some lunch. Cheers.